News Alert, I'm Brett Baer in Washington. U.S. officials confirmed to Fox News that Russian hackers, possibly directly tied to the Russian government, hacked into State Department and White House computers. While the incident is not new, the suspected identity of the culprit is. What did they get access to, and how does this happen? Correspondent Rich Edson has the latest. Good evening, Rich.
Good evening, Brett. Concerns over Russian cyber capabilities as reports hackers accessed the White House computer system, providing them access to President Obama's schedule and planned policy announcements. The report says the hackers are believed to be working for the Russian government. The administration says that report is referring to an already disclosed incident from last year. Officials refuse to acknowledge any Russian connection. We don't confirm cyber intrusions. We've spoken to the fact that there was an event last year. We have classified systems that are secure, and we take regular precautions to secure our unclassified networks as well. We don't talk about where cyber intrusions originate from because we're constantly taking actions to prevent them. A well-placed cyber intelligence source tells Fox News that these reports are alluding to Russian-based hacking reported in October in an operation called Operation Pawn Storm. And Russian hackers are also suspected as the culprits behind a recent cyber attack on the State Department's computer system, one that forced officials to spend months trying to clean it up. Of late, administration officials have acknowledged growing concerns over Russia's cyber capabilities and intentions.
Attacks against us are increasing in frequency, scale, sophistication, and severity of impact. Although we must be prepared for a catastrophic large-scale strike, a so-called cyber Armageddon, the reality is that we've been living with a constant and expanding barrage of cyber attacks for some time.
The well-placed cyber source adds Fox News that the hacking efforts out of Russia intensified around the time the U.S. ratcheted up sanctions against the Putin regime. Brett.
The State Department shut down its computers March 13th, just 3 weeks ago, for apparently an incident. Meantime, Rich, this news about the Russian hack comes on a day that a lot of Washington, D.C. and surrounding areas were hit with a short power outage. At first, it was raising all kinds of red flags about cyber attacks, but it wasn't related to any attack. What can you tell us about that?
No, that's right, Brett. This was on a day that official Washington had to negotiate much of its afternoon without power. A scattershot outage hit several government agencies throughout the area, abruptly halting the State Department briefing and forcing spokeswoman Marie Harf to continue fielding reporters' questions by smartphone light. Officials point to a downed transmission line in Maryland and say there is no indication this is a result of malicious activity, though, Brett, all this while experts continue to warn officials here of this country's cyber and infrastructure vulnerabilities.
Yeah, it's one worth following. Rich, thank you. Meanwhile, the Pentagon says there are now 2 Russian Navy ships operating off U.S. shores. U.S. Northern Command's Admiral Bill Gordney says a second ship has recently come up from Venezuela. He says they are intelligence-gathering vessels.